Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're back again to brief you on our latest COVID update. Hope everyone had a safe 4th of July. We do know that with the holiday celebration, there are some concerns about the possible fallout, but so far the news has been encouraging. But we don't want to remind everybody to remain vigilant, remain compliant. Just be careful, just be careful. But we are happy that we're able to come back today to present to you our monthly update. Today's update, though, will also include some information about Hurricane Elsa. Whatever status it's in now, it's been kind of oscillating, so I want to bring you some update on that too, because I know there are a lot of questions you may have about what the local community is doing to prepare. And we hope that, speaking of prepared, we hope that you are prepared for Elsa and anybody else that may follow Elsa. We want to, once again, we know we have opened up some venues in the county at large. When I say county at large, that means the county of municipalities, and we see that you are enjoying those, and we're happy to see you enjoy those. But we want to be able to continue to enjoy those. We can only do it if you work with us as we work with you. So at this time, I'm going to bring up to your front Mayor Larry Baker, the mayor of the city of Walthamville.
Hello, everybody. We're just going to piggyback off on Chairman Levitt. Let's continue to be vigilant and be safe. And let us please check on our senior citizens and the citizens of Walthamville. And again, piggybacking off of Chairman Levitt, vigilantly and being safe. Thank you. At this time, I yield for Mayor Allen Brown, the city of Hinesville.
Thank you, Mayor Baker and Chairman. Good morning to everyone. You know, since the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, our community has followed the guidance of our local, state, and federal health officials. And in recent weeks, the COVID-19 dashboard published by the Georgia Department of Health has indicated that Liberty County's Community Transmission Index, big words, has something to do with health and safety, is now consistently below 100 cases per 100,000 residents. For over 20 days now, our community has been under this threshold, and with the standard for easing COVID-19 mitigation efforts being 14 days under this threshold, the city of Hinesville, the city council considered with the city manager's recommendation at our last meeting to eliminate the face mask requirement within city buildings and return to normal for city council meetings, and that was done at last week's scheduled meeting. This is good news, and it's news we've been waiting for a long time. So our meetings will be normal now. Activity, I've actually come in the side door of City Hall now, so you can get in the normal ways. So right now we're back to normal. For residents, this means you can forego a face mask within the city buildings. While we encourage face masks to be worn, especially by those who are not vaccinated, they are no longer required. This also means that our regular meetings are now fully open, and additional seating capacity will be added back to the chambers, and we will continue to live stream our meetings to our Facebook account so residents who wish to watch the meeting from their homes can still do so. Again, this is good news. With our case numbers low and below the 100 cases per 100,000 resident threshold, we can begin resuming some of our pre-pandemic operations. Having said that, we will continue to monitor our community's response and adjust accordingly. To help us in our efforts to return to normal, we strongly encourage residents to get vaccinated still. Currently, anyone 12 and under can receive that vaccination free of charge. And within the city of Hinesville alone, there are 10 vaccination sites, well, we wish it was vacation sites, 10 vaccination sites available. These sites, some of those sites are Liberty County Health Department, Kroger, multiple Walmart shopping centers, and several local pharmacies. So it's pretty easy to get a shot now. To schedule an appointment to receive your vaccination from the Department of Health, located at 1113 East Oglethorpe Highway, please visit gachd.org to make your appointment. Thank you all. You have responded to our crisis well, and we appreciate it. And please remember that we as a community need to continue looking out for the health and safety of each other. You will hear a little bit about the weather, and otherwise, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mayor. Start off by echoing his sentiment on everybody and what they've done for the COVID things that we have been through. Right now we're on a downhill trend from that. Dr. Davis gave an update on that this morning, and the mayor has touched on the transmission index being down, which is good. The vaccination rates in Georgia, and you can see those on the website that the mayor mentioned at Department of Public Health. Those Georgians fully vaccinated, about 38%, one dose about 43%. Liberty County, not so good on the vaccination rates. Our one dose rate is about 23%, and those fully vaccinated are about 20%. So we're lagging behind the state some. He mentioned the health department in the vaccination availability there. You can go online and schedule those. They're doing those vaccinations on Mondays and Thursdays here in Liberty County, and then you can search their site for other sites in the region. But please take advantage of those vaccinations. Even though our transmission rate index is down here, it is climbing some in Camden and Chatham counties, maybe after the fourth event type thing. But those hospitalizations are on the rise there, and Dr. Davis reports he thinks that is from the Delta variant, which is more contagious, as everyone is aware. There are some other places here in the county that are offering vaccines. One of those is Diversity. They're doing testing and vaccinations. You can go to their website at diversityhc.org and schedule an appointment there or call them. Also, Liberty Regional Walk-In Clinic is doing vaccinations and testing, continuing there. So if you need to visit them, do so at Liberty Regional Medical Center. Like the city, the county did resume normal operations last week. We reopened recreational venues, as you heard the chairman mention, which is very, very good. And we're preparing for our after-school programs through the rec department. So please follow our libertycountyga.com site to a link to their site to be able to look at some of those. I think in saying that, again, mentioning some of what Dr. Davis said this morning on his update from the community health, is that vaccination does help especially stave off some of those other type variants, and the prognosis of recovery as well as how hard the virus hits you is held off some by vaccinations, and so we encourage that. Most of the climb in those other rates that I mentioned were in young adults. I need to say that. The hospitalization rate is up for young adults, and it's felt like a lot of those have not gotten the vaccination. So I end the COVID piece of this by saying, please reconsider getting that vaccination, and still try to keep your distance some. We're in a storm monitoring mode for what is now Tropical Storm Elsa again. It was upgraded to a hurricane last night at the 8 o'clock advisory. It's now come down. At this time, I'm going to yield to the EMA Director, Mr. Robert Dodd, to give you a quick update.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. As he said, the 11 o'clock update, the center of Tropical Storm Elsa was located approximately 177 miles southwest of Liberty County and was moving north at 14 miles per hour. It is expected to continue that track until later today or tonight, and in the morning slowly start to turn northeast. Currently, we are under a tropical storm warning in Liberty County, and Elsa has sustained winds of 63 miles per hour measured near the center, with tropical storm force winds extending outward at 90 miles. On the current forecast track, the center of the storm is expected to pass over our area around 3 p.m. today. We may experience tropical force winds starting this afternoon and lasting into late tonight. These may be winds from 30 to 40 miles per hour. The major impact expected from the storm for our area is significant rainfall. We can expect from 2 to 4 inches during that period, with locally higher rainfall amounts possible. This may lead to roads being impassable at times and some having to be closed. Some flash flooding may be possible. People who reside in low-lying areas should monitor this event closely and be ready to locate to higher ground if necessary. An isolated tornado is possible and most likely will be embedded in rain bands of the system. These may happen with little or no warning. There may be some isolated areas of power outages with the storm, so you should have a hurricane kit on hand in case that happens. No evacuations are planned or expected at this time, and at this point, we encourage you to stay abreast of the weather conditions and monitor your weather radios. You can follow our updates at www.libertycountyga.com or facebook.com/Liberty County. Mr. Brown.
Thanks, Bob. So I think a little bit of a takeaway there is that, number one, now on the track that is burying, it shifted a little farther north. It has not made a northeasterly turn, so it's coming farther up in the panhandle. Some of the little modeling that we looked at just prior to this takes it actually more west of us, up towards the Statesboro, Swainsboro, Vidalia area, through Baxley. That would put us still on the right side of the storm, still significant rainfall to be expected, but as far as the eye goes, it's just that uncertainty that's there. So again, not to say it's going to go that way, but it is shifting a little farther to the west. The operations center here is in a monitoring mode. It will be partially manned, starting now and then running into this evening to monitor the event. Bob mentioned we may have some power outages. A couple of things here, please. Please do not use 911 to report a power outage. Save that for the true emergencies that are there. Your power providers have automatic tracking systems that lets them know when the power goes out in certain areas, so they're going to know your power's out. Please don't tie up the 911 system for that. If you do want to look at some of those outage maps in a time of anticipated restoration of those power, please go to their websites, whether it's Canucci Electric or Coastal Electric or Georgia Power. All three have tracking maps that you can look at for those. And again, they'll work that independently of the emergency situations. A reminder, we don't expect any large damage with the storm unless it's some kind of spin-off tornado that comes with a rain band, and those are really unpredictable. But in saying that, if you just remember, limit your travel, especially during this evening, I would say, late afternoon into the early morning hours. Just, if you don't have to go out, just really stay inside just in case. If you do come across any debris in the road or a tree in the road, do report that. That'll be running down to a team that's handling that here in the center. But do not approach any kind of tree with a power line on it. Our crews, in fact, aren't permitted to handle those power lines that are down on trees, so please be patient with them. It takes a power provider to come do that. Just monitor the situation locally, watch the Weather Channel. All of really what we're telling you is on the National Hurricane Center website. If you have accessibility to a computer and can look that up, you can monitor those storms and those reports as they come out. So with that, I don't know if there's any questions related to the storm. We'll continue to monitor that and probably provide another update to you sometime this afternoon late, sometime probably around the 5:30, 6 o'clock hour, following a 5 o'clock update from the Hurricane Center. Appreciate that, and I'll yield to Chairman Lovett, who will come in and make a last comment. One thing I did fail to mention, given the track and given what some businesses are doing, the decision has been made here just a few minutes ago to close county offices early, around 3 o'clock this afternoon, before the most significant event comes in our area. So I just wanted you to be aware of that, and we'll be ramping up some stuff on the internet about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Liberty. Appreciate you again. Listen, I want you to know that there are a lot of people in this room, a lot of people who you can't see who are your support team, and we want to appreciate them for the work that they do every day. Looking at, you can't see my media specialists, fire services are here, PR from the state of Hinesville is here. IT department is very involved, so thank you all for being in the background and helping to keep our county safe. We appreciate what you're doing out there, because you put your lives in danger just to keep us safe, and we can't say thank you enough. I want to say this in closing. Let's err on the side of caution or safety. I'm thinking about in a month time, school will start again in Liberty County. We had a pretty good school year last year as it relates to COVID, and as Mr. Brown just said, the stats show that our younger people are the ones who are less likely to be vaccinated, and the younger people are the ones who more likely to have the children. So looking at that as a factor. So we encourage you once again to err on the side of safety, if at all, and get vaccinated. Also, when it comes to Tropical Storm Elsa, err on the side of safety. If you don't have to go out, like Mr. Brown just said, don't go out. Go ahead and get your errands done now. And one thing that Mr. Bob mentioned yesterday, maybe they'll bring it up later, you know, get your hurricane preparation kit ready, so that whether it's Elsa or whoever follow Elsa, you're ready when those kind of weather events happen in our county. Want to be safe, want to be prepared, want to give it our best shot, that we all will remain safe, that we all have good outcomes through this event. So thank you so much once again for tuning in, and we will talk with you later. Have a great day. Be safe out there.